Hello, hello, hello,
Oh,
and welcome
what's up? What's up? What's up?
to Nandemo Podcast,
Audio
where we
good?
talk about random stuff. Audio should be good. I
Yeah.
checked everything. I checked everything this time. Check, check the stuff before we go live, Sid.
This is really lagging today. You're on Video Ninja for
Oh,
me.
well,
Hmm. And also, my quality is really, really low on
we get new
this thing
problems every day
on stream. Hmm.
on stream. But hi, guys, we are Nandemo Podcast, and we are here to talk about random
Hi.
stuff that
Hmm.
doesn't matter. Isn't that a great way to introduce what we do?
Oh, yeah, it's a perfect way.
Yeah. So you guys can ignore the
Hmm.
horrible video quality. And as usual, this is something that I have to say for every single stream. Reddit is going to
Hmm.
lag like crazy. I cannot control it. I have tried everything. It just doesn't work. We are having
Apparently,
like
YouTube is lagging too.
85% dropped frames on Reddit. So yeah, and YouTube also isn't doing great today, and I'm really not sure why. But always come to the YouTube
Is
channel
audio,
if you want a better stream.
hey, is audio unblacked again?
Probably he probably is unblacked again. That's the.
Hmm.
I,
Tell him to stop, dude. Like, we need the bandwidth.
okay, let me just stop. Hold on. He's screaming from the background, but ignore him.
Yes.
Let me just quickly change settings over here
Mm-hmm.
and try to get the different guys. Look, we are poor streamers. Okay, if we had some money, it wouldn't be that hard. How about you guys donate
Really?
and give us some coffees, which we shall use for a new camera and new setup in general.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Reddit
poor
should be a
YouTuber. You
little
see my
better now,
face apparently.
and
Hmm.
I can't do anything about you. I genuinely
You
don't know
can't
what the
even see
problem is.
properly on Video Ninja. Forget the stream. Like it's that bad.
I'm fine on Video Ninja.
No. It's like you've been dubbed,
Yeah.
Like your lips don't match your words. Hmm.
Well, these lips don't lie. Anyway, so let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about burning the midnight oil,
Mm-hmm.
which is a concept I am all too well aware of right now, guys. If I'm
Yes,
being
yes,
honest,
yes.
and we're going to be talking about work and what we think about work and
Yes.
life in general.
I have an amazing question to start off the podcast, bro.
Yes,
Bro, how was work? How was work?
I have to go. I have to reach work at 8 o'clock in the morning
Hmm.
tomorrow
Hmm.
because I need to help shoot some video where we show
Hmm.
our office, but then we don't want to show our
Hmm.
office with people in it because that's too distracting. So we want to show an empty office, and we're going to be shooting like some 20 videos tomorrow.
Hmm.
So if I have to reach at 8, and then I have to work till like 10 shooting videos, and then after that, I need to work for the rest of the day writing content for a client, and then come back home at 10 o'clock again. So I'm going to be working like a 12-hour shift tomorrow, and I'm so excited.
Hmm. Look at this busy bee.
Yes, look at me, guys. I'm so cool. I actually work 12 hours like the wage
Yeah.
slave that I am.
Wow. But yeah, I was saying that's a question that like most people ask each other. Like, how was work today? If you meet someone like towards the evening, right at the end of the day.
Yeah, that is something I ask people as well because I want to see how sad
Mm-hmm.
people are in life in general. I'm a
Yes.
sadist that way.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Sid, how was
But yes,
work today?
pretty chill actually. It was pretty fun.
I hate your
I
guts.
didn't work much.
I hate you and everybody
Well,
you work
I'm
for.
the unemployed one here, so.
It's clearly unemployed. But yeah. Okay,
But
so
yes, bro.
basically, um, let me
I would
start off by
go ahead.
saying
Mm-hmm.
that we both were once people with a lot of ideals about work, and we once thought there was the ideal workplace where we could do
First,
whatever
let's
we
talk
wanted.
about what we're referring to as work.
Literally anything you consider doing for money as work. What are you referring
Okay.
to as work?
No, because work can be like, is it something you do for yourself, something you're doing for someone else, something that may be fun for you? like
Yeah, but
painting something but doesn't get you any money. So is that work or no?
I would say work would be classified as something you do for money.
Okay, but that's a more, I would say work is just something I would like, any activity or anything I'm doing in order to, I don't know, I guess finish something. Like for me it's like getting a result, like suppose I'm
But is that
painting
really
something or
work?
drawing something. Yeah, for me I'm working. That's work. You can work and not get paid for it, like stuff like that,
Isn't that
but
just like
there's also
doing
work that you
something
get
for
paid
fun?
for.
That's like play.
I
Work
wouldn't
hard,
call
play
it
hard.
play because I'm still working. It's like,
But is it really
how would you differentiate play and work?
I would say play is something that you voluntarily do for recreational activities or doing something creative, while work is something you do for the money. And
So
it's very
anything
rare.
creative is not work, is what you're saying.
Yes,
And also, so what do you think this podcast is, play or work?
it's play. We're doing it for fun.
Would Yeah, but it's still work. We're doing it for fun. Like work can be fun. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then again, if work is fun, I don't call it work.
It's a more modern definition, yeah. Like it's a more like what people are used to now, where you say work, you mean like going somewhere, working and getting paid for it,
Yeah,
right?
but
But necessarily doesn't have to
yeah,
be
but I
that.
don't call it work if it's something that I'm doing for recreation, or if I'm doing it for fun. Like if I'm sitting and
Yeah,
if I'm sitting and talking to someone to discuss an idea just for the hell of it, I'm not going to be like, oh, I was working with them. I'll be like, nah, I was having fun
yeah,
with them.
yeah. But if you're at work and you're brainstorming an idea with someone, that's work. But this
Yeah,
isn't.
of course, because that is
Mm.
shit, and this isn't. Isn't that isn't
So
that
work
like
has to
clear?
be shit, is your intention.
Well, I would argue that very few people in the world are actually happy where they work. Okay, it's what I mean. We are facing one of the biggest work reform movements in the world right now, and I am
Hmm.
all for it. I am so all for. It's not even funny
It's
how
gonna take
all
a
for
while
it
to
I am.
take effect here, by the
Yeah, I
way.
mean, it's
Like a good
never going
while.
to take effect here. Let's be honest. But
Like you may be dead by then, but
yeah.
yeah.
But the guys who are unionizing Starbucks and Amazon branches all over America,
Hmm.
good job, guys. I'm really proud. I wish I could support in more ways, but unfortunately, I'm like a few continents away. So,
A couple of them, yeah.
and
Hmm.
also, I'm also in one of the most exploitative industries in one of the most exploitative countries. So,
Yes.
that makes
Hmm.
things a little harder. Like, I don't think anyone even knows what a union does over here in India.
Yeah, probably. They're like, yeah, they probably don't know. Even though we do have like a version of them for
Yeah,
like a
we
lot of,
do. We do. They're
government
usually seen as
workers and
they're
stuff.
usually seen as a bad
Yeah,
thing because they're like, oh, the
exactly.
union guys want to strike again.
Yeah,
Fuck them, I guess.
yeah, it's seen as a
Yeah,
bad
it's so
thing.
true.
And
Yeah,
it doesn't really, like, people don't really care. They're like, oh, it's on strike, I'll use this thing. They don't like help them.
yeah. And I mean, for
But
good. Okay, but in the defense of people who say that, the
mm,
people who do go on strike for the most ridiculous reasons. Okay,
yeah. Mm.
they're like, hey, okay, I understand if you want to get paid more, but then if you go on strike because somebody else started a service similar to yours that is putting you out of business, is that really what your union is for?
Ah,
Like a lot of
sorry, I got distracted with the sound coming. It's so loud. I didn't know it was that loud.
oh,
Holy shit.
sorry, hold on, let me.
No, that's okay. I just didn't know it was so loud because I remember you telling me about it, but I didn't know
Yeah,
it was like so prominent. Like I can hear it clearly. Damn.
wait, let me try to improve that situation a bit.
Yes, because that totally distracted me.
Okay, just go on, I will try to improve it.
Hmm. I have no clue what you were saying also. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm just saying
bro,
that a lot of the people who strike in India strike for like the weirdest reasons.
oh
It's
yeah,
like
yeah, we were there. Huh.
I'm going out of business, or I'm not getting business because somebody else started a similar service, and that is not cool. I'm like, hey, come on, like really, that's why you're striking? Like, can't you like strike for like better things, like better wages or like a
Yeah,
better
exactly.
environments to work in, and not just that a private company has started what the government does anyway? Is that really what you want to strike for?
Hmm.
It's very weird.
And also, yeah, strike for wages, minimum wages don't exist. It's not a thing here. Minimum wages are zero basically over here.
Yeah,
If
that
you
is
think
true.
about it,
That is very true.
like for everyone, that's
So,
zero.
so for those of you who don't know, the way it works in India is you do have a minimum wage technically, but it's only applies for the public
Technically,
sector.
yeah.
And you do have overtime wages technically, and it only applies for the public sector. So the private sector is completely unregulated when it comes to overtime and stuff like that. So people are more than free to just tell you to get lost if you ask for overtime. And they're also more than free to tell you they will give you overtime and then not give it, and you can't do anything about it because the government doesn't legally require
Yeah.
overtime in any place.
They don't, and exactly, it doesn't require, and so they openly exploit, and they're like, oh, there are like, we have so many people, huge population, fuck off, we'll hire someone else for cheaper. Like there are 10,000 people
Exactly.
waiting.
And the main problem with that is that you could be really good at what you do. You could be one of the best in the country at what you do. And if you don't go along with the status quo, and if you don't do exactly what they say, and if you're not the one coming into office the earliest and then leaving the latest, then you are automatically going to be kicked out at some point, because people are like, well, I found this guy who does a worse job, but he does it for cheaper and he works for longer. So screw you, I guess. Quality does not matter as much in this country in general as it does in other
nobody gives a
places.
shit. It's just a requirement. It's just a thing they need to tick off their list.
Yeah,
That's all.
the thing is, they
No
will
matter
talk.
how they tick it off, yeah,
they will talk hugely about quality. They'll be like, oh my god, we want the best quality in the world. We want to be the best seller of, I don't know, I don't even know, like leather belts in the world. And we want you to write copy. We want you to write and design. Like everyone in the world will just drop what they're doing and buy a leather belt from us right now. And it's just impossible. It's just stupid. And I'm just giving examples from my life, of course.
Everyone
there are a lot
goes
of
to Dharavi to buy leather.
Exactly. But I'm just giving examples from my life, of course. There are a lot of stupid requests being made. Like right now, what the video I have to shoot is for business development. Okay. I'm not part of the business development team. Okay. There is no business development team. I'm part of the content team. Okay. And you know how many people there are in the content team?
You.
Yes. It's only me.
Expected.
I take care of social media. I take care of content. I take care of client content. I take care of literally anything that needs to be taken care of. Okay, I take care of shooting videos. I take care of editing those videos and then giving a reference to the guy who's finally going to do it in After Effects. By the way, they use After Effects to edit videos. And then after that, we have to go now work on writing scripts and identifying key clients we can target so that we can get more conversions and leads and blah, 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 blah. And it is exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting.
I did not pay attention to any of that. They were just words for me. But yes,
thanks.
Business shit. Yes, I get it. Yes. No, it's not you. It's me. I'm quite dumb.
Yeah, it's
anyway.
very freaking annoying. Like the problem is you're expected to do a lot more than what you're hired for. And I'm all for that in the sense that, okay, I know what kind of world I'm living in. I know what kind of society it is here. So I'm like, okay, I'll play the game to, and I know a lot of things. So I don't mind doing a little bit of extra work, except when you give an inch, they take a mile. And then when you give a mile, they take like 20 miles after that. So it's really freaking annoying.
Oh, definitely. They're like, oh, you're helping out. Let's take like 100% advantage of you and exploit you because you want to do it.
Exactly. In fact, like one of the places that I first worked at, which was actually founded by one of my cousins, and I didn't know that until like after I got hired. And he was like, hey, we're cousins. I'm like, what? We are? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so Nikki's saying your camera is blurry. I don't know why that is happening.
I've been telling Brew to.
Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. I can check.
Can you reset, like restart this or something?
Okay, I will do that. Just give me a sec. Where are you? Yeah. So basically, I was working in the place that my cousin started, and it was all going well. But then they were doing some really shady stuff. They were doing some really terrible practices, very unethical stuff, borderline illegal stuff that they were partaking in.
What everyone here.
Yeah, it's very commonplace in India. You don't actually gain followers or subscribers in social media here. You buy them, and even the big companies do it. It's a very normal thing that people do, and it's not a normal thing at all in a lot of other places.
We have some bugs going on. Okay. Oh no, he was just confused. Anyways.
Yeah, he was just confused. I was refreshing your video. But yeah, so it was a very normal thing. But then I was totally against it because we were literally lying to the client saying we got them organic followers.
Oh, dude, that's
and I was not okay with it. So I quit and I served my notice period, except they couldn't find someone to replace me within the notice period time. And since it was my first job and since I wanted to, be nice to them and shit like that, and unfortunately for me, I try to be good to a fault. And I was like, okay, you know what? I will stay beyond my notice period and I will help you out. And these guys were like, oh, you're not doing as much of a good job as you were before, so we're going to cut off like 20% of your pay. I was like, dude, what the fuck? I'm not coming to work from tomorrow. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
terrible.
literally no legal obligation to continue this job. I was
Yeah.
doing it literally because you couldn't find someone else.
And also, just to let you guys know, like, just to go off on a tangent, bro, when they talk about legal obligation, usually when people get jobs here, you don't get a contract, you don't get any like insurance, like nothing like that. Like, no one gives a shit about you. No one cares about the fucking
That's true.
employees, you know.
You need
You can be like just let go any day, like you have nothing.
yeah, you need to be part of like this really big company with which is like
Yeah, like
which
a huge
has
corporate organization
yeah,
to get stuff
which
like
has
that.
branches all
Mm,
over the world, and then they will have like a structure
mm.
which doesn't even give you the same benefits
Yeah.
that you get anywhere else. It'll probably be like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you know what, guys, we're gonna give you like a set amount for Wi-Fi every month.
Yeah.
Yay! It's
Or like
insane.
a government job, but in the private sector, in like most small companies or medium companies, you don't get
Yeah,
shit.
you don't get shit at all, and it's
Because they like,
bearable. It's absolutely
if
bearable.
you've seen companies here, they change employees like changing clothes, dude, so fucking fast. They keep firing and rehiring. Like that's a very common
They do.
practice. Every month it happens. Yeah.
They do.
Hmm.
Like even the place I'm working at currently, there's a lot of employee turnover, and
Hmm.
a lot of people are very pissed off
Hmm.
with the
Hmm.
way it's being managed. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, we just gotta do what we gotta do, earn a living, keep our houses, keep some luxuries in life, and that is exactly the problem, I feel.
That's the so yeah. That's what it's like the way society is built right now. At least for us, is like you have to work to basically live. You know, with the minimum
Yeah,
requirements of life, like have a shelter, get food. Like you need to work for that,
yeah,
right? The way society is built. But is work really like the work means like where you're working in a company and getting a wage, like basically fulfilling, making someone else rich, you know,
yeah.
as
Making
most
someone else
company it
rich is
is,
the
and
main thing.
fulfilling their dream instead of yours, right? So is that so? Definitely, that's not worth it, right? For us,
It's not.
it's 100%
It's
not.
not worth it
Hmm.
for us. I mean, there are a lot of people who are okay with doing that,
Yeah,
but
and
and that's
no
good
hate
for
to
them.
them, but
Yeah,
mhm.
but I mean, at this rate, like I've been looking a lot into this. Like, so there was the original, mainly on Reddit because it's a very prevalent ideology on Reddit, which a lot of people shit on for some reason. But it was like anti-work, and then anti-work really got fucked over by this. By one of their mods, something happened. I don't remember the exact details. But some interview went downhill, and then they had to shut down the subreddit because the mod got pissed and kicked everyone off and deleted the subreddit or
Mhm.
something. And then they turned it into work reform, and
Mhm.
that was a
See.
really interesting thing. And the thing is that like it actually
Mhm.
became like a proper movement where they were helping
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
across different states
Mhm.
unionize, and they were giving advice, and they were trying to make everything. And the most common complaint against this type of stuff is that, oh my god, you guys are just lazy and you don't want to work. And if my
Oh,
answer to
so
that is,
shit. Hmm.
okay, even if that's true, what
Yes.
the fuck is your problem?
Yeah, what's your problem? Oh, you're so lazy. You don't want to you don't work, and so that I can chill. It's basically
Yeah,
what you're saying.
exactly. So okay,
You don't want to let me get more money out of you.
yeah. So basically, they're like, hey, I spend like 16 hours a day working. Like, why the fuck do I need to do that? Maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Is that
maybe
is
you
it
don't
really
have
such
to. Yeah.
a is it really such an
Mm,
insane thing to say that I don't want to
mm.
give up my life working for somebody else so that they can get rich?
So it's quite no. It should be more normal according to me, but yeah, it's not. Hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I've also read some studies about how the people who say this
Mhm.
stuff, the people who claim that other people are lazy and they are doing the extra work and all that, also have this tendency to think that they are going to become the next millionaire or the next billionaire and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and they don't realize the vast difference between whatever the fuck they're making and actually getting to $1 billion. Like there have been dedicated sites that I've gone through. I've scrolled through for like an hour on both on desktop and mobile,
Mhm.
which is just like, here is Elon Musk's money, and it's an entire web page, and they talk about the different things that can be done with Elon Musk's money all through the web page as you scroll, and they give you different
Mm.
stats. And there's one with Jeff Bezos, and I swear to God, Sid, I'm not kidding you. I was scrolling for 15 minutes straight because I got tired of reading about the things you could do with the money, and I just kept scrolling and I just kept scrolling. I had to quit the page because it didn't end.
Bro, just page down.
I was on my phone, and it was a horizontal scroll, and I was like, God
Holy
freaking
shit.
damn it! How much money does this guy actually have?
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. I was reading something that he could give everyone in the world like $1 million or something if he wanted
Yeah, it's
to.
insane.
And it's still, yeah.
It's insane. And the worst part is that like there's so many people who are so in love with these people's personality or lack of personality. I don't even know what personality they have to actually
No,
like
it's
it.
like celebrity culture. You want to be them, like, you idolize them. Like, wow, I'll be
Yeah.
there. I want to be. It's the same thing,
Yeah, but like
It doesn't really. For me, it's the
who,
same admiration you have for any of these, with people have for celebrities and stuff.
yeah, but who looks at Jeff Bezos and is like, damn, that's sexy?
More like that money sexy.
Yeah, that money sexy.
That's what they say.
Yeah, and
But yeah.
it's even worse because like right now the state of the state the world is in, even if like okay, so like literally all the richest people are not self-made, they all literally came from some money or something
Oh, yeah,
somewhere or the other.
definitely.
And for Christ's sake, if you created a company right now and you got one of the most successful products on the market with no funding, let's say it's an ideal world, and you somehow got funding afterwards, you scale your product even more, you become like this insanely huge company, you're going to get bought out by one of these bigger companies. Like, did you know
Oh yeah, for
did you
sure.
know that just this week Adobe bought Figma for $20 billion?
Yes, I read about it. Yes, I'm very aware.
20
And
billion.
it's fucking insane because like there was this thing among UI UX designers about how Figma is so much better than XD
Yeah.
and no one uses XD and shit. And Adobe was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like the social media guys were like, hey, like guys, like people are saying like Figma is better than XD, and somebody who wanted a dick measuring contest at Adobe was like, what they said, what now? And this decided to fucking buy it for 20 billion. It adds no value to them. They already have a competitive product. It adds no value to them. They're literally just trying to monopolize the market.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And now when people say Figma is better than XD, you're like, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, the Adobe people will agree. They're like, yeah, that's true. You made an amazing product.
It's freaking terrible. 20 billion. Like,
yeah,
like it seems like just days ago when the first $1 billion deal was like, oh, and then now you're like you're 20 billion for a freaking product that you already have, which is insane to me. It's absolutely insane, bonkers.
Their deals are on another level.
And the worst part is you have Affinity, which does Illustrator and Photoshop and InDesign's work for a one-time fee, and you have open source versions for Figma and XD, and nobody even gives a fuck because they're so interested in what the industry standard is. And oh my god, I swear to God.
Yeah, but it's also like most, like if you say I use Affinity and people are like, no, we want someone who uses Photoshop. Then they're like, okay, we won't hire you.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. It's like you just need to be a part of the status quo. Otherwise, you're like, and if you dare be like, you know what, guys, maybe Adobe isn't like the best of products. They have quite a few bugs. Everyone's like, you motherfucker, you said what? Did you just say Adobe is not the best fucking thing in the world? But now they can make crazy. Figma part of CC Cloud, says Control and K, it's all be overpriced. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think they're going to do that, because if they do that, then they're literally giving people an option between XD and Figma, which will, I don't know. I don't even know if that
maybe
makes sense.
Maybe they're going to kill XD. They kill a lot of their old like applications.
They can't kill XD. They can't.
Oh, they definitely can.
They can't kill XD. If they spend 20 billion to buy Figma just to kill XD, that's like one of the worst business decisions ever.
Yeah, but dude, almost everyone I know uses Figma. No one I know uses XD. So it just makes sense.
My entire office uses XD because of the Adobe integration because with all CC the other
Cloud. Yeah, but Figma is just so much better if you ever used it. So it just makes sense, The
only thing I really like about Figma is that it's much easier for content people to work on the projects along with the designers.
He said they'll make Figma XD.
Oh my god.
See, exactly. We'll combine both.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to my work, because I'm like, okay, at least that way I can just not have a free account and just do stuff. Otherwise, after XD was once free, and then they made it paid because they wanted money. And for some reason, nobody at my company even knew that. And they were all like, hey, just download XD, bro. It's free. I just make a free Adobe ID with your company ID and just download XD. It's free, and then you can work on all the projects with us. And I download. I'm like, guys, it says 7 days trial. They're like, nah, it'll be free forever. Don't worry. And then I'm like, guys, it's asking me to pay. They're like, I see. They changed it. I'm like, really? I've just been telling you that for like 3 weeks now. Really? And Taku asked why so early. Because
yes, Control 9. I agree. That
because
is a
I have
good
to
place.
wake up tomorrow at 6 in the morning and go to work. And Pirate Bay for the win, free forever after getting the crack. Okay, I do not agree with the use of the Pirate Bay.
We use wait, no, that
Yeah,
was a different. That was our own
that was a different
podcast.
one.
Sorry, we use Adobe.
Okay, but guys, seriously, don't use the Pirate Bay. It's filled with more malware than anything else. One sec, my phone is like, my voice assistant just opened up for some reason and then just started saying some random nonsense.
Yes, we're getting low angle brew today.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, do not use Pirate Bay at all. That is a
to work. Let's not talk about companies that are getting richer.
No, but that is the whole point, because everybody wants to be like these companies. Like my studio wants to be like the Lollipop Design, which is a global UX UI agency, and I don't know. It's just that everyone wants to keep chasing these heights for more money, and like we're pitching to people who already have design teams. And it doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, why not pitch to like smaller companies and try to help them out and, build relationships with them instead of trying to go for the big guns anyway? Like, are they really going to take a look at you when you're so small?
When you say our studio, you're just talking about the founders. You're not talking about the employees, right? Or
yeah,
do they have like a shared dream kind of?
We don't have a say in literally anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the most interesting things about this place is that when during the interviews, they always say we want people who have like very strong opinions. We want people who will fight back. We want people who will tell us what to do. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And then once I joined, literally every time you tell them something is wrong, the answer is, can we not argue about this? I just want to do it this way. I'm like, okay, then why the fuck do you even ask for my opinion?
I know, right? That's fucking frustrating. Yeah. I cannot work in an environment like that. That's why I don't. But yes.
Exactly. But there are some things that, you know what? I'm legit just going to get all the experience I can.
You won't get fired tomorrow. If someone's listening, hi.
Hey, what's up? You can fire me. That's okay. I highly doubt they will do it. Even if they did, they'll have to keep me around for a long time before they can find me, because they need to find a replacement. So job security is there for the next couple of months. Like, okay, even here I had to negotiate the terms of my agreement, which was, forget the pay. The pay is bad for the amount of work I'm doing. That's terrible.
100%.
And a person who's doing only their job and doing their job really bad is getting a lot more than I am. But I'm not saying anything about that right now, because I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to keep my head low and grind for a little while. But the main problem is the logic they had for the person leaving versus the person getting fired was that if the person leaves, they will need to work for 3 months as a notice period. But if the person gets fired, they get like some 30 days or 40 days notice period. And I was like, you know what, guys, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, how can I serve double or triple the time that you require? Like, what is this imbalance over here? Why do I need to serve so much more time if I want to voluntarily leave, but if you guys want to fire me, you just get to name those terms however you want?
Yeah, that's crazy. I bet there's no legal like precedent behind it. I bet they're just saying it for the
of course they're just saying it. There's nothing legal about it.
And people who don't know will just be like, okay, cool, this must be the law. We come and work,
or this must be the norm.
Yeah, exactly. People don't question it. Yeah, because even if you do, these companies are not gonna give a fuck enough to take you to court. That's also too much work for them. They don't know that, because if they take you to court, they're gonna lose, because they don't give you any benefits or anything, and they don't pay you for overtime. They're exploiting you. So
but then again, the court doesn't give a shit either. So I really don't know how that will play out.
Yeah, you'll be there for like 3 years for one small case.
Yeah. Control case is grind and switch. That's a great strat. They can do it. The laws are not very stringent. Yeah, that's the problem. There are no laws. There are actually no laws. Me being the naive little idiot that I was, went to my dad and I was like, you know what, Dad, I just realized something. And he's like, what? I'm like, Dad, they don't pay me overtime, but they make me work more. And my dad's like, yeah, so? I'm like, Dad, guess what? That's illegal. I have found a loophole. He's like, according to Indian law, you're not owed overtime at all in the private sector. I'm like,
Hmm.
what? I'm like,
Mhm.
what? I'm like, huh? What? Yeah, what? I'm not. And at that time, I was getting like 15K, and
Mhm.
that was like a pittance for the amount of work I was doing there as well.
Yeah. By the way, he's talking about rupees for those who think like, damn. But
Yeah, yeah, not dollars. What is 15K in dollars? Like, I'm sure it must be like some abysmal amount.
Oh, dude, it's like I don't know, like 100 and something bucks, 100 and something dollars, I guess.
Hey, no, 100. No, it can't be that low. Okay, maybe it's like 200. I think 200.
200, yeah, probably, yeah.
It's $188.
Oh, one, see, one, not even 200
$188 freaking dollars. And
a
even
month. Yes,
a month,
wow.
yeah.
Hmm.
And
Dude,
I'm getting, let's just say I'm getting 1/4 the salary that anyone else in the US would be getting for the amount of work that I do as a UX writer, as a content writer, as a video producer, a video editor, and a business development helper, whatever you want to call it. Oh, and a
Yes,
social
yes,
media guy.
of course.
Okay,
A
Control
lot
NK
of roles, but
says
hmm.
Control NK says my contract specifically said no overtime, but they'll make you work. Luckily, my workplace is not bad. Don't compare us with the US. The expenses there are also high. Yeah, you see the problem comes in
Even
when
here, you don't like, based on what Brew used to, suppose you talk about 15K, right? You can't live in Mumbai for 15K. That's like bullshit. Like, you cannot you got to live on the street like in a cardboard box. Then you're like, okay, I'm living
hey,
paycheck to
cardboard
paycheck.
boxes cost more than 15K.
Okay, yeah, so it's actually quite difficult to live on your own, that's why most people, they just live with their parents, because they earn fucking 10-15K over here. It's actually impossible to even like afford rent, and you can't even live on your own. If seeing Bruce's example, you have to live with other people. You can't even afford a place of your own,
Yeah,
even though like you earn like what Brew is earning is, I don't know how much in dollars, but
around
it's like
$600.
it's $600 a month, which is like quite normal for a lot of people here. Like a lot of people make
In the
that
middle
range, right?
class.
Our age, yeah. A lot of people in middle class make that much money, and you can't afford an apartment on your own in that much, and that's fucking crazy.
And
That's
the
insane.
interesting part is, guys, like if I had to live alone, my entire salary, like entire, literally the 100% of it would just afford rent.
And yeah, no security deposit, nothing. Like, you
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to get a place. Yeah,
yeah,
which is fucking crazy. And that's how it is. Like, it's normalized over here for some reason.
insanely
Hmm.
normalized. And the stupid part is, like, you're saying don't compare us with the US, but when you work for other companies in the US and you get paid in dollars, but you still pay your
You could
employees
easily
peanuts,
live there.
that's
Yeah, I have friends who live in the US, Canada. They make minimum wage, and they are like living comfortably and saving money and stuff. And like, so it's not that bad compared to here. I would say it's worse for us
yeah. Because the thing
because
is,
our minimum wage is zero.
I'm not sure about the US, but I'm sure Canada at least has like healthcare available for
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of people.
healthcare.
So
Yeah, but those are going into more. But we're talking on the basic. Can you live off what you earn
yeah.
of minimum wage,
No,
right?
but I'm saying that's not like not even a worry for you, because
Yeah, that's
I have
not
to
even a
think
worry.
like twice. I have to be like, okay, you know what? I have to get an appointment with my back doctor. I might need to get an X-ray, so I will wait in pain until the next month starts, and then I will ask my boss when I'd be lucky enough to get my salary, and then I will book an appointment and go. I'm like, God damn it, this is so sad.
No, it's terrible. And also, Kantaranki says, I agree, it's bad. So I find frequent switches more beneficial. We also have healthcare. Do we have healthcare? No,
Have you
we
seen our healthcare?
don't.
I've seen some interesting
Bro,
hospitals where you
imagine
get more
someone who gets,
diseases when you
yeah,
go in, when
yeah,
just
really government hospitals. If you go, that's where you get more diseases. I wouldn't say that's a good place to. Hmm.
yeah, and they're
And you
like
will be,
I can count
dude,
on half a hand the number of good private hospitals that are actually
and
affordable.
yeah, and also you go to. I've been to so many government hospitals, and it's actually quite like heartbreaking to go there. You just see people lying outside on the road waiting for
Yeah,
their turn to go in, like just sleeping. They're living there for days and days and suffering because there are so many fucking people here. It's actually quite heartbreaking to go to one.
yeah,
And also, even if you're going private, you're earning 15K. you pay insurance, which is like 4K, which is still
Oh,
like you're
Christ.
like, okay, now can I afford anything after that?
Yeah, insurance is a whole other problem.
Mm-hmm.
One
But
Qatar
yeah,
note is like 300 Qatar. Yeah, Qatar
mm,
is yeah, they're rich.
yeah, I'm not aware about the earning versus spending living over there, so I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, they're rich.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Control in cases we have healthcare, they're not as great, but some are good for the 0 rupees you have to pay. Yeah, agreed. Like in some
Yeah.
places, for if you really have absolutely nothing, then it does help
Mm-hmm.
you. It's just that Qatar has expensive healthcare but zero taxes. Yeah, see, I'm not saying that there are like no benefits to actually being in this country. Well,
No,
let me
there are
think. Um,
not for like I
um,
wouldn't say there are benefits for me per se, but for a lot of people there are, especially like people like a lot of people who work in government jobs, like it helps them here. But
you can
it
be
again
openly
depends on.
racist as a right winger in this country.
Bro, this is not the politics episode, but yes, you can. That's true. No, but again, like it may be beneficial for a lot of people and in different situations and whatnot, it may help them. But for us, like for me specifically, also, it's not beneficial at all working here,
Same,
especially in the field I work in.
same. And
What?
also control NK. The other thing that you have to think about is that
Hmm.
wait, I'm not talking about benefits. I'm just saying it's a give and take in all countries. Yeah, of course, that's true. I'm not saying that it is not at all. I'm not saying any one place has work problems. I'm saying everywhere has work
Mhm.
problems. And
Yeah,
the
but
other
somewhere
thing
it's
that,
like
yeah, go
better
on.
than the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. No.
Yeah, and the other thing to do
Anyways.
is if you do
Hmm.
switch very quickly, it's much more acceptable in other countries, especially in
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
West than it is in the East, because Japan, China, I think even Taiwan
Most
and
of
India,
yeah, all
most of these
most Asian,
places.
Southeast Asian countries. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't stay in one place for at least 2 years, you are seen as a bad employee. Okay,
Yeah,
I've
basically.
personally had this experience so many
Hmm.
times
Hmm.
because I'm
Hmm.
like, oh my, I've applied to so many places, and they're like, the first thing they say is, you have done small stints in multiple places. Why have you never stayed with one thing for
Yeah,
too
why we
long?
never
It
stayed.
shows a
Yeah.
lack
Hmm.
of dedication. I'm like, why am I going to be
Hmm. Hmm.
dedicated if your cause
Hmm. Hmm.
sucks?
Yeah, exactly. You just want me to suffer. You're like, oh, he suffered previously, so that means he's gonna suffer happily in our company. Nice, let's hire him.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's just
That's what they want.
it's
They're
just
like,
terrible.
oh, he likes this terrible work culture. So yeah, that makes sense. We can hire them.
Yeah, like I shit you not, I once went for an
Hmm.
interview where my
Hmm.
friend introduced me to the place, and I sat there. I talked to the person who's two people who interviewed me.
Hmm.
They both like handling different clients, and they were trying to figure out which client I would fit best with. They were really happy with my work. They were really happy with the way I was speaking, and they were the
Hmm.
first
Hmm.
people I went to an interview and said, "Yeah, advertising sucks. I hate advertising."
Hmm. Hmm.
And they're like, "Yeah, so do we, but oh my god, we love the thrill of work." I was like, "Oh my god, these guys are workaholics." And
The
then
thrill of work.
and then I go to my friend. I'm like,
Hmm.
"So what are the advantages of working here?" He's like, "Dude, okay, so sometimes, like a couple of times a week, that's it. We have to stay till 6 a.m. and come back at 10 a.m. But from 10 p.m. till 6 a.m., you can order whatever you want and you will be reimbursed." I'm like,
What the fuck? Okay. Holy shit, dude.
that's legitimately an advantage for them.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
fucking terrible.
No, it's
Writers in US
actually.
also suffer from joblessness. Yeah, of course. I'm not saying the US sucks for people working. That's the problem. The US also sucks. I'm not
Hmm.
saying that the US is better.
Work culture is terrible in most places.
Nandemo
Hmm.
Theme says, "I'm bored so bad." My God, you're gonna not be so bored 4 years later when you come back
When
and
you
watch
get
this
a
episode.
job,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, 1 2 years is kind of the number. It's difficult to find other places that accept it, and you need more stuff outside company work under your belt. Listen, I have a lot of stuff outside company work under my belt. Sid has
Mhm.
a lot of stuff outside company work under
I
his belt.
only have outside
Yeah.
stuff. But I get the thing like, hey,
Okay,
why have you never
he's
worked for a
not
company
12.
before? Hmm.
Yeah,
They
but
say,
yeah,
why have you never worked for a company before? And that's apparently a problem,
exactly. And
Like,
I had
hmm.
my homemade food business, which I ran for like
Hmm.
what 4 years, and then
Yes.
I'm like, hey, how about this? Like this shows dedication. I've done it for so many years. They're like, yeah, but you started your own business. I'm like, so why is that a bad thing? It shows initiative. And they're like, why didn't it work out? I'm like, oh, it's because of the pandemic. And they're like, I'm like, oh yeah, really, yeah. Sorry, 5,000 different businesses closed down on the first day of the pandemic, and somehow you judge me for
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
It shouldn't be in your resume for a writer. Why not? Because I did write blogs, I did write social media strategies,
Yeah, a
I
lot
did
of
write a
right.
lot of content, I did write a lot of, built a brand for it. And I'm not only a writer, that's the thing. I'm never only a writer. I'm always doing
Yeah,
multiple
he
things.
does multiple things exactly. No, and no, the thing is, even talking about work culture, like fundamentally, not even seeing our, because the answer will be different if we consider modern society and everything. Fundamentally, do we need to work? No,
No, we definitely do
we
not.
don't need to work. It's not
Not in the
something that's
sense that we're
necessary.
working today.
Yeah, like you don't need to work, like you don't need to go to a company and get a normal
Yeah,
salary and live life, that like that's not necessary. It's not
yeah,
something that's a rule, like to live life you have to get a job and work for a number of years. No,
yeah, definitely.
but that's what, like even talking outside the creative field, or like any, like of course there are some things are necessary, but like for example, I wouldn't say we don't need any certain type of like company that's necessary, because doctors are important, engineers are important, and it's like it's very important for society to run, I'm not saying they're unnecessary, but like as humans we don't need to work,
Yeah, we don't,
right?
and we shouldn't
Mm,
have the need. But one sec, I'm just going to quickly address
mm.
this. That Control again says that should not the business owner part. You can say I did brand building for a startup owned by unknown person. Do you know how shady that's going to sound if I just say that I work for a startup? I don't know who owned it. Or I
Yeah,
can't
we
tell
have
you who owned it. That's kind of a secret. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
already people are suspicious of anyone they hire in this country because they think everyone's getting scammed here apparently.
Yeah.
So already they're suspicious. Let's not, make it worse.
Yeah, but yeah, so
We
you are a
hmm,
writer, you can write it using better words. Irrespective of that, I need to put out the company name, otherwise it's not counted
hmm,
as actually working.
hmm.
And when I put out the company name, everything online is tied to my name. So unless I can convince them that as a writer I took over the company and then, I don't know, organized a coup from the inside, which doesn't sound great in an interview either.
No, it's better to just be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, like
But
okay, so
yes.
so here are two things I hate about work culture. The first one is traveling to work. Okay, like the pandemic did so much to actually help this, but still so many people refuse to do this, which is like there was a reason that everyone had to travel to work in the past. Like you didn't have the internet to be able to work remotely with such ease. Again, a
Hmm,
lot of people find it better to work in person and they think true creativity comes out in person and whatever. And okay, I don't agree, but sure, if you like working in the office, you go work in the office. Don't make me do it. And the second thing is the so okay so sorry, one more point. Well, while traveling itself, okay, this is something that really bugs me, especially because of my broken back, which was caused because of me working. I moved. I helped shift offices because they didn't get packers and movers. I hurt
didn't
my
get paid
back
for
in the.
that.
I didn't get paid for that. Of course, I
Hmm.
didn't. They promised a party which never came. By the way, I should really bring that up. I'm like, listen, the least you can do is give us a freaking party.
Hmm.
But I hurt my back, and then I had to go. I had to take 2 weeks off. Thankfully, I could work from home at that
Hmm.
time. And then I had to take 2 days off because like I didn't know what the problem was. I had to go to the doctor and
Hmm.
figure it out. And those 2 days were cut from my 2 days of 12 days of annual vacation
Hmm.
or whatever the fuck. And then after that, after 2 weeks, they were like, "We can't work from home. We need you to come to office." And I'm like, "Listen, like
Hmm.
my back is broken. It's not a good idea." And I have to travel 1.5 hours every day, one way, just to get to
Hmm.
office so that I can sit and hurt my back even more actively. And that is just stupid. That is absolutely
Hmm.
stupid. And I am like not even like a that bad of a level. Like it's still terrible that I hurt my back and I'm forced to work because of that. But there are people who
Also,
have a lot worse injuries and lot worse
yeah.
problems.
And also workplace is also like, if you have a workplace, for me I wouldn't like to go to like a shitty like corporate office, but if I had like my own like studio somewhere which I built and it's a place I want to go and all my tools are there, and like it's not a crazy like going a crazy drive through Mumbai stuck in traffic for 5 hours, I would enjoy going to my studio to work outside my house. But like getting into traffic, traveling for hours with a painful back, and then going into like a workspace you don't really like, and you're like, I could do this at home. Yeah, totally understandable, right?
Exactly. It's the whole pandemic thing of this could have been an email. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
literally, and
exactly.
it's just terrible. And
Mm-hmm.
and that
And
see
you
that
could
there's
have your own workspace at home. You could turn your own room into a studio. Like it doesn't need to be. Yeah,
exactly. I
and
have three
in
monitors here.
yeah.
I mean, as shitty as one is, which looks like it's from '95, but
it's just the traveling time. If traveling wasn't painful, it would be a lot easier for people, because
Definitely
going anywhere takes hours in Mumbai.
takes
Like, it
hours.
takes hours.
I'm not kidding.
Mm.
I'm in
Any mode
Andheri
of
and I have to
transport.
go in Andheri. Okay, I have to go from Andheri to Andheri, and it still takes me an hour and a half.
Yeah, I reach your house faster than that.
Yeah. And again, the worst part is like the office space itself is not bad. It's a nice space. It's an open space, lot of sunlight. They used to have a pantry which they haven't filled up for a month. I don't know why, but the and it's like fun. It's fun to just sit and talk to people sometimes, and have a laugh with people, listen to music unless they play like really cringy Hindi songs. But like, otherwise it's fun sometimes. But it's just that if I sit at home, I have the option of resting my back whenever I want. That's one. I don't have to sit on the company couch and be like every time someone walks into the freaking room. And two, I have I can just be more productive because I have my two screens. I'm sitting in a comfortable place. I'm sitting in a place that I'm used to. I don't need to dress up in like whatever freaking.
Yeah, but I guess your company is still more chill, right? With
You still need to
clothing.
wear like either jeans or pants
Oh my
with
god,
like
that's sad.
shirts preferred, otherwise t-shirts. So it's not. I mean, it's not like they're full corporate suit types, but then they're like you can't wear shorts to office. Who wears shorts to office? I'm like, dude, it's raining in Mumbai. Like your the rain comes up till your knees. Let me wear shorts. The only thing I refuse to do
Yeah.
was I'm the only one in the office that does not wear shoes. I'm like, I'm going to wear my sandals. I'm going to
You're a
wear what?
sandal boy.
Yeah, I'm going to wear whatever the fuck I want on my feet. And if you're going to be staring at my feet all the time, we have bigger problems in this office than me not wearing shoes.
I know, right? Yeah, it's pretty bad. And also, like, talking about your medical issue, like most companies here, like in most places, they don't care about your issue. Like
Yeah.
from my experience, most companies in India, from what you other friends, even what I've heard, is like they don't give a shit if you're sick. They don't give like parental leave.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. Forget ministerial leave. That people are like, what's that? Like, why do
Oh,
we need that?
so very
Forget
interestingly,
about
one of the
shit like
places I
that.
worked at
Yeah.
was very proud to give menstrual leave, like the first day of period
Yeah.
leave that they have.
Okay.
Except I literally never saw a single person take that leave because there was so much work that you just
So they
couldn't.
couldn't even take it.
Yeah.
So they're like, it's here, but don't take it because you have shit ton
Like
of work.
outwards, they're like, "Hey, we do this," and then inside they're like, "Bitch, you have work today, right? You know that, right? I'm just saying. There's a lot of submissions to happen out." Patolanke says, my company is starting in office again because they want to buy a bigger place and show expenses to investors. Yeah, that sounds bad. Yeah, so that's the other thing. Even the place I work at, they had a quaint little office. They had to shift out because of the contract getting over, and the owner wanted to lease it out to someone he knew personally. And these guys could have just looked at the finances and been like, okay, it's going to cost us X amount of money just to rent the place. We have to give X amount as deposit, and we have to pay like X amount. Okay, I'm not even going to say X. I'm just going to say Z because it was like that much money. And we have to put Z amount of money to actually make it workable, where we have to put in air conditioners, we have to put in toilets, we have to put in a pantry, we have to put in all the paint, we have to put in fancy lights, we have to put in our walls, we have to put in the tables, we have to put in the electrical, we have to put in the computer.
We get it.
Every single thing. It came up to a huge. I was told the amount, and my brain was actually blown over there. They could have just avoided all of that and just said, hey, we already bought the computers. You guys are going to get, just take them home one day and you just work from home. And guess what? Everyone gets a bonus of like your 1 month's salary. And they would be in the green. Like they would be so in the green, it wouldn't even be funny right now. They are paying so much money. They're paying like 4 to 5 times my salary alone in renting the place. And they paid almost 20. No, wait. Yeah, okay. They paid like some 20-30 times my salary just to give a deposit for the place, and probably like 50 times my salary to get the place done up.
And again, like you the purpose of a workplace is like it's for the employees, and if the employees don't want to come there, then what's the point of spending a shit ton of money on it, right?
Yeah. So the thing is, like, everyone in the office I've talked to does not want to work in the office. Everyone wants to work from home.
See, So does it really make sense? But no, they're not going to talk to the employees and
Yeah.
be like, hey, do you like want to work at home or like need a place to work? Like, no, it doesn't matter.
And the thing is, like, both the founders get like kind of abusive on call if you work from home or if they're working from home, because they get really pissed about it, and it's very
Just
weird.
I can rant on that. I hate when anyone you're working for is like rude to you or yelling at you.
Yeah,
For me, that's like the biggest red flag. Like if you're yelling at me for some reason, like as an employee, I'm not working for you. Like I'm not doing
exactly.
it. But of course, a lot of people are in situations where they have to do it and they suffer through it, and I 100% understand that. Nothing against them. Like you may be in a situation where you need the money and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll listen to them this day and I'll do the work, and I'm not invalidating that. But for me, I cannot. No, I'm like, because I'm a freelancer, so there are lots of reasons why I don't work for companies. But yeah, I would be like, no, fuck off. Like, be nice to me. That's like a minimum requirement. Be nice to your employees. They're fucking working
Yeah,
for you. How hard is that?
yeah.
Hmm.
Like the founders were screaming at the office boy because he got color Xeroxes instead of the black and white copies, and I was like, really?
So fucking dumb.
And I had to mark a tripod, so I took double-sided tape so that I could stick it on the ground and then put a little marker over it. And one of the founders comes to me like, why do you want to waste so much money? I'm like, it's double-sided tape. I will buy it for you from my salary.
Yeah.
See, like, we have chalk for a reason. I'm like, oh yes, chalk, the thing that gets wiped away at a random notice. Yes.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Control NK
What?
says no, but then the investor's portfolio will be less green, and yeah, at that point we'll start finding a new workplace.
Yeah, they're
So
building offices for investors, not for the employees.
exactly, but we don't have investors, so there is literally nobody to please except the
So there's no
employees. Oh, also, by the
which
way,
is
here's the best part: we can't say the word employees in the office.
I see.
We have to say the word
What are
the
you,
team.
slaves? What?
The
Oh, the
team.
team. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
And I actually put like in one of the posts I was writing, I was like, all employees get this, and he's like, no employees, no, I hate the word. The team gets this. I was like,
He's trying to justify it to himself.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think you gotta
Yes, cringe company for sure. Okay.
yeah, but that's like every company. I've seen so many
That's like
people who are
most,
like
yeah.
who just talk about how we are a family, and I'm like, hey, they're abusive for sure.
Dude, I was talking to someone and she was like, yeah, my boss yells at me, but he's really nice. Like, he defends me. And I'm like,
Do you
what the
hear
fuck?
yourself?
Like, you've been like Stockholm syndrome into liking your boss because he helps you, because he yells at. I don't understand. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Like I says, nah, mine's kind of good. That's really good for you. I'm happy for you that
That's
you're
very nice.
happy
Yeah,
where you
there are
work.
still good workplaces that exist. I'm not saying they don't, but yeah, it's rare.
It's very rare, and especially in the creative field, it's very, very rare.
Here, yeah, definitely. I haven't found a good one yet.
Yeah, they don't peddle as much cringe. No, but see, the thing is, like, the creative field, everyone thinks they're right, and especially when it comes to people who refuse to ever see mistakes in anything they do, so they're like, I want it this way.
That
And
is so anti, like most like people in the creative field that I know is like, because most of us only see mistakes in what we do.
yeah,
And then there are these guys who are like, no, my work's perfect. Like,
yeah.
what? How can you even say
And
that?
I really don't understand how you can be the founder of a company and chase pixel perfect work in everything. And
Oh, yeah, that is
that's
ridiculous.
absolutely ridiculous. Like, okay, you can aim for a level of perfection that you like, but then really, if you like, I have spent 3 hours in a meeting where we've decided like one page of content. I'm like, really, is that really the optimal use of time? Like,
So
is
inefficient.
anyone
Yeah.
going to care if I use the word, I don't know, literally any word instead of some other word in one sentence? It's
No,
exhausting.
and it's crazy. Like, if we're talking about how inefficient a lot of workplaces are, it's like if you talk about huge organizations, right? To even get started on your work, you need to do 10 billion things. Like,
That's true.
like suppose it's your first day, you gotta like call the IT team and set up your email or whatever, and call this team, and they are doing their own thing, so they take their own time, and then like 10,000 steps to just like get started on working. Which, if I was at home, which I do work on myself, I just get started. I don't have to
Yes.
do all that bullshit. And they keep those organizations keep those things in place. They're like, yeah, it's easier to manage employees and keep records and blah blah blah. But there are more efficient ways of doing it. Like I don't need to sit for 2 days just to get started on my work, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
And Control NK says, do you also do contract jobs? No, I don't do contract jobs. My only
Mm.
contract is with the devil.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah,
No,
but
but
it's
yeah, that is crazy. And it is very difficult. Also, like working as a freelancer is very difficult in this country. Like it's
it is.
actually quite difficult. You get like no benefits from the government. You're
Of
basically unemployed. That's why I keep saying I'm unemployed, because
yeah.
the government considers you unemployed. You get nothing. Like even banks are like fuck off.
If it makes you
So
feel any better, I also get no benefits.
yes, that is true. But you work longer hours apparently, like way more than me.
Yeah,
Mm, mm.
that's the problem. No, but here's
No,
here's
but
here's the second
mm,
problem I
mm.
have with works. Okay, second major problem. I keep hitting my mic up. Okay, sorry. I feel like all companies focus on multimedia are just startups from daddy's money. Basically, yes, that
Oh
is
yeah,
exactly what it
100%.
is.
Mm, mm,
And
mm.
they're figuring out the best way to squander it all away. But
And
okay,
most these guys don't even have design. Like talking about my field, like design and what I used to look for, like freelance. So I met so many CEOs and founders. Like they don't even have design backgrounds. They know nothing about it. And they're like, oh yeah, I just I know about this. I'm a black belt in design. You remember? And they're like, yeah, I did a fine arts course, so that means I'm a really good designer. So yeah, that's why I started a company. Doesn't really make sense, but okay. And
and
they're all coming from that. They don't even understand what they're doing.
definitely. I mean, like there are a lot of people. I mean,
Hmm.
like I think this is something that this particular point is something that we could talk about for hours just on
Yeah,
its
but
own.
like let's get back to the work
Yeah.
topic in general.
So
Yeah, what were you saying?
here's my second problem with work. Okay, back in the day, my granddad had an ad agency. He started his own ad agency. He was doing really well with it. And then my like it my he involved my dad in it when he was like a kid, when he was a teenager, and he involved
Mm-hmm.
all of my dad's siblings as well. So he had this habit. Okay, like this, I really appreciated this about him because he would prepare his kids for the real world, albeit it was very brutal. He would
Mm-hmm.
literally walk up to one of his teenage kids like 13 to 17, in that age range. Okay, and he would go to them and be like, I need you to travel to this city that is like 4 5 hours away, and I need you to go to this one house over there and meet this person. Take this letter with you, read it on the way. That person is the client. I want you to negotiate a deal and come back and make sure that we're getting a proper amount of money.
Oh shit!
Is that
Sorry.
your
Yeah,
alarm?
continue. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I still kept a podcast alarm for 9 o'clock, forgetting that it was 8 o'clock. It started at 8 o'clock today.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but basically, he'd send them out on client meetings to negotiate the entire thing. And they would have to travel to the station. They would have to catch a train. They'd have to travel hours in the train, go talk to the person. And my granddad was just like, bitch, you better come back here the same day. I'm not going to give you money to fucking stay over there and waste time. So they would have to come back. And then he'd involve them in the entire process. So it would take them hours and hours and hours just to be able to talk to a client. It would take hours and hours and hours just to get the papers signed. It would take hours and hours to make a single ad. And we have so much technology today that all these things take minutes. Like you literally pick up the phone, you literally send a meeting invite, and you're talking to
Yeah.
the client. It literally takes you like no time to make a design. It literally takes no time to write words. We should be working a lot lesser than we already are. And this applies to every single field.
And nothing is like, and also talking about how there's a like people are like, oh, this needs to get done. That's like the thing is like I work for clients internationally and like domestic, right, in a
Yeah.
domestic way. And outside, like usually I get work like you have good timelines. They have finished this in a month because yeah, it's gonna take time. Usually like 4 months, 5 months, and they're like, yeah, okay, cool, that makes sense because that's how much time you need to produce something good. Like they understand that. And anyone here needs a work. Yeah, we need this like animated video. Can you give it to us like in a week? And I'm like,
In
what
a
do I even
week,
fucking
really?
say?
They give you that
Yeah,
much time, Sid?
yeah, exactly. That much time. And that's normalized over here, like getting work like super fast, like because the quality doesn't fucking matter. Like I said, it's just like something they need to tick off, and they're like, the faster we get it, the better. I don't care if it looks like shit or not. And no, but they do expect good quality,
They
you
do.
know. They still do expect like 1 year's work worth of quality in like a week,
Yeah.
they still say no, like, yo, you gave me a fucking week.
Yeah.
And So you still have that. They don't want to give you time to do good
They
work, but they
definitely
want
don't.
good work.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Katal
And
Lanka
that
says
part of
basically
yeah.
buzzwords they learned in whatever degree and justify doing the degree by making a company that does whatever because
Mm-hmm.
industry is a bajillion dollar industry. You know, the interesting part, I think most people don't even learn buzzwords from their degree. They learn it from LinkedIn and they keep parroting it and it's annoying
Yeah.
as shit.
No, and even talking about how many hours you need to work, like you were saying, your grandfather used to make them go like for a
Yeah.
long time. Yeah, like you're right. You don't need to work that long. Like you just need to like if you don't even need to work. I would say every day for like a set amount
Exactly.
of hours. Like, for me, like when it comes to work, saying like you need to be disciplined and all is like fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So
Because that's like they're scamming you into like, hey, can you work? Can you be disciplined and work for me so I get
exactly.
more money? Like what the fuck?
So Control Lanka says no, but client doesn't know if they are muted or not. Yeah, that's very true. I hate clients who do that. And bro,
Yeah.
1 week is good enough to make Arcane.
Yeah,
Yes, of course it
apparently,
is.
exactly.
No, but yeah, to
That's
your
where you get
point,
fucking Chota Beam in a week.
but to your point, like
Hmm.
I think discipline has been so a lot of philosophers also talk
Hmm.
about discipline,
Hmm.
but if you look at them, literally every single one of them, like every single one of them talks about
Hmm.
personal discipline, talks about how you should be
Yeah,
disciplined in life according to what you believe is true, according to your
exactly.
passions, according to what, say, if they're theologists, then according to what God tells you
Hmm.
and so on.
Hmm.
Nobody freaking tells you, hey, can you ask your boss what discipline is?
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
It's like they're literally taking your
Mm.
freedom away because they're like, okay, I
Yeah.
need you to come at this time, and I need you
Hmm.
to. And you know the most frustrating part, like both if I go late by half an hour because I'm stuck in traffic for 2 hours, the first question I get is, why were you so late? And I sit back, I reach at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking. My boss walks in at 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, hey, why the fuck are you late?
Yeah. Exactly. They don't give a shit, dude. No, that's what sucks. Like they just it's painful, the way it's built and the way like you have to work this way and suffer this way. It's actually quite sad, but
Yeah,
a lot
and
of people have no other option,
that is
that's
true.
all. Otherwise they won't be able to feed their family or have a place to live. So, it's
That is true.
hmm.
Control and
So
cases, Japan does that
hmm.
kind of stuff, and they'll soon have no workers. They stay on that path.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
it's a very
definitely.
bad situation over
Fucking
there.
terrible place.
And
Yeah. Hmm.
unfortunately, India is very close in terms of how they behave. And also, Sid. So interestingly, do you know that the day of Queen Elizabeth's funeral, R.I.P. to the
Who's
Queen, I
that?
guess.
Sorry. Who's that? Sorry.
So at the Queen's funeral, the UK lost £6 billion on that day alone because most of the businesses were closed. So can
Boo
you
hoo.
imagine the economic damage that us
Yeah.
normal poor people could do if we just managed to come together and not work for one
Not,
day? One
yeah,
single
exactly.
day is all we need. And we could tank like billions and billions of dollars across the world.
World governments would fall, the
Yeah.
economy would crash. Yeah.
6 billion is kind of low, says Control. Okay. Yeah, but not the entirety of the UK wasn't shut down. It was just
Mhm.
most of it. And
Mm.
like you could like imagine if all the we just had like a no work day. I'm telling you, the economy would just stop on that day. Be like, no more.
But also, most people would be like, it's no work day, but you have to come to work
Yeah, that's true.
tomorrow. Like, that would happen, definitely. So, again, that's what sucks, right? The definition. Because for me, work, like I said, for
Hey, we
me,
have
even if
someone
I'm,
new called Sum or Sum. What's
oh,
up?
what's
4K
up,
brew.
Sam?
Who?
Seems like someone who knows. I'm not sure. But
Am I
yeah.
really in 4K?
And I'm Minecraft quality. Hmm.
Dan has become. Oh, it's Dan.
Oh, it's
Ah, man,
Dan.
I thought it was
Okay.
someone new. It's just Dan.
It's just but
Who
but
got trolled?
yeah,
Yes,
it's
I did.
like
I
for
definitely did.
me the
Yeah.
definition of work, like how for like if I am making something for myself, like if I'm making like a short animation for myself for practice, or if I'm drawing, I consider that work for me because
Yeah,
I'm
but
still working.
that is like
But
personal work.
yeah, but it's still work. I would be like, yeah, I was working, but I wouldn't say I was just fucking around or chilling. Like for me, that's still work.
Yeah,
It's
but
something I enjoy, it's something I like doing,
yeah,
but
but
it's still
I
work.
think that's the problem. I think the problem is that
Hmm.
we have defined it as work, while work has that negative connotation to it. So maybe I
Yeah.
think the answer is to just make it something a little different. Just be like, I was doing something I enjoy, or I was doing something productive. I genuinely feel like the word work just has to stop existing in all our
So
fucking
if I look up
vocabularies.
work on Google, it just says activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose
Yeah,
or
but
result.
it's also like so many other
Makes
words
sense.
which society has already
Yeah,
given a certain
yeah, exactly.
connotation
Yeah.
to. So I
No,
can't shake away that feeling. Like even if I'm doing something productive and I really enjoy doing it, and the minute I say, "Hey, I'm working on something," I'm like, no, I fucking hate that word. I'm not working on it. I'm doing
yeah,
something fun. I
yeah,
refuse
but
to attach the word
also,
work to something fun.
yeah, you refuse. But if I'm saying how people don't give importance to personal projects or things you do where you're not working in a company,
Yeah.
you know, like, is that not as important? Like, is me
It
doing
is,
something
but
for
I'm just
myself
saying the
not as
word
important?
work is the problem, not
Yeah,
the importance attached
I
to it.
understand your feelings about the word, but I'm talking about generally about how importance is given in society. Is what I'm doing for myself not important if I'm not working, or fulfilling your dream?
Yeah, that's very stupid.
I would
Yeah, I
say
completely agree with that.
I would say that's work, and what I'm doing for you isn't work
Exactly.
for me.
I mean that
Right.
that's a that requires a paradigm shift to like change the
Yeah.
meaning of the word work.
Hmm.
Okay, that's as good as saying team instead of employee, i.e. copium. I
Yeah.
like how Control 9K always includes the word copium into this comment
I know,
somewhere or
right?
the other. The word I
Hmm.
hate most is productive. I refuse to attach the word productive to anything. I'm totally fine with working. But the second it's labeled as productive, I want it to not be that way. Dan is like the anti-Christ or something over here. Like I will do the exact opposite of what you say. But I mean, it
Yeah, but
depends
that
on what
makes
you
sense,
consider productive as well.
Yeah, but those labels do kind of, I understand how they annoy you, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're working for someone, they're like, you're not being productive. You're like, I'm doing what you're telling me to do. Like, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
that's not.
Hmm,
Yeah, I mean,
hmm.
then I understand. It's like
Yeah.
because your
Hmm,
productivity usually is tied to
hmm.
intrinsically to money by people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hate that
Hmm,
aspect of
hmm,
it as well.
hmm,
I'm fine with work as a complete obligation. See, that's
hmm.
what I'm not fine with. Why
It
have we
shouldn't
sat
be.
and improved
Yeah.
technology to the point where everything is so easy, and then we attach the same amount of effort into everything? It makes no sense.
No, but I also understand Dan's perspective because again, a lot of people may not want to work for themselves or do things on their own. They must be like,
Agreed.
yeah, I don't want to do it. So for them, having like this stable thing helps,
Agreed.
right? For
But
example, like Japan, they have lifetime employment as an option, where most people, like the salary men, can get a job and work in a company your whole
yeah,
fucking life
completely agreed.
and like just get a family, whatever, die. Like that's an option a lot of people go for.
Yes, I agree with that. But my
Hmm.
question to you, counter question here is, do you need to be working 9 hours a day for your entire life? Why can't it just be
Oh
4 hours a day or 5 hours a day?
no, you don't. But I know, like, unfortunately, I know people who prefer working 24 hours if they could, because they don't know what to do if they wouldn't work, which is sad.
But yeah,
Like they don't know
which
what
is
else to do in life.
but
It's
that is
absolutely
because of the amount of propaganda of work that they've been fed.
exactly. Yeah, it's just what they used to say. Like, what do I do if I'm not working? Fuck. Like, am I just sitting? Am I just going to eat
Yeah,
and sleep? Like, they don't
they're
know
like
what to
drug
do.
addicts. They're like, oh, I need, what do I do? What do I like? Just do literally
Yeah.
anything. Just do literally
Yeah.
anything.
Hmm. Yeah. And like, see, he says he considers it, like Forrest Dan is saying, he
Yeah.
works for himself, but but I only consider it as an obligation. If I consider it as self-improvement or something optional that's positive, it reminds me of those people who always brag about their insane sigma grinds and
Yeah, basically.
productivity.
Also, Control
No.
9K,
Yeah.
I know it'll pay less if that works.
Uh-huh.
If that works for me. I know I can do that. But here's the
Mhm.
thing. So you can't, okay, in this, I've tried, okay, I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm speaking from people who have done this before. You can't stay stagnant at any place, because the last place
Mhm.
I was at, I was like, listen, I am perfectly happy where I am. I don't want a promotion. I don't want to lead a
Mhm.
team. I don't want to, be like the next boss of
Mhm.
a CEO or creative director, whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
I'm perfectly fine where I am right now. All I'm looking
Mhm.
for is a monetary increment so that I can, improve my quality of life a little. And they're like, we want someone with ambition. I'm like, bitch, I'm literally doing exactly what you need. I'm doing all the
Yeah.
work you need. All I'm asking is for a little more money, not a
Mhm.
title change. And they're like, yeah, we want someone who actually wants all those things. That makes no sense. What the fuck is your problem?
Yeah. They want a slave, dude. This is modern slavery, basically.
But I am being their slave. I'm just not being their slave with an advanced title.
Yeah. And like, even based on what I control, like, if it'll pay less, if that works for you, you can. And again, like, working for yourself sometimes doesn't even pay. Like, it's most of the times it doesn't pay until,
Yeah.
like, unless you're like creating something and putting it out in the world, and if people like it, like music or anything, right? And it's difficult for those things to work, but when it works, you get paid way more than normal jobs. And even like this, the what most people say is like, oh, I'm disciplined every day, I work for myself, that sigma grind set, what you're talking about. Even I would say, even that's bullshit in a way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's just that guy trying to fool you to make money.
Yeah.
And
Basically.
because working for yourself is equally as difficult, I would say. And you have the same issues. It's not easy, it's not like fun always all the time, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
it's
that's the
still,
thing.
there are lots of challenges with it,
You're
but at the end you're still doing it for yourself.
Yeah, but my point is, like,
Mm.
even if it's not easy, even if you're suffering to do what
Mhm.
you really want to do, it's still what you really want to do. I really wouldn't consider that a work. Like, it's like Steve Jobs said, if you really love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. Yeah, I mean, that works for him because he was
You don't
literally sitting at the
always
top
love
of
what.
Apple and he was like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
what's up, bitches?
exactly.
But
No, that quote is bullshit for sure.
but I mean, like, I agree with it on some level because I wouldn't consider it work. I'm not going to say I don't suffer. I'm not going to say things aren't going to be hard. But I will say I'd never work in my life. I just do what I love doing, or I just do
Yeah.
what I have fun doing, which
Yeah, you're just
which makes all the difference.
Hmm. Yeah, for you define personal work as play.
Exactly.
Basically. Yeah.
It's freedom.
And
It's doing what you want to
Hmm.
do.
Yeah. And yeah, for instance, like some says he'd slack off as much as possible. And yeah, procrastination is seen as a bad thing, but I don't think it's necessarily that bad a thing. Like, people just say it's bad, you should do something, but in the end, like, if you don't want to do it, don't do it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
you should be able to do what you want to do. Like, I would say anything could be work for you. If you don't want to make something, even if you want to like grow vegetables, that's work. A lot of people do it. Could be anything.
and that's all.
Hmm.
It's one of the most freeing works because you're
Oh,
literally
I
like
would. Yeah,
creating.
it's so fucking amazing. It's one of the best things to do, honestly.
Call me Dan, baby. Hi, Dan, baby.
But yeah, again,
My voice assistant just woke up when I said, "Hi, Dan, baby." What have you done to my phone, Dan? What have you done to my phone?
no, but even talking about slacking off, yeah, like, bro, you come back from work, you're like, I don't want to do anything because I'm bummed out, so I'm just gonna, you know, a lot of times, like, you have a lot of ideas for things you want to do, right? Like personal projects and whatnot.
Yeah,
And a lot of times you come back from your official job and you're like, I just don't want to, I just
officially
want to
dead.
chill. Yes, I just want to chill, right?
Yeah, but I have changed that now because I like literally have to cook
Mm-hmm.
every night, irrespective of what I want, because we
Mm-hmm.
don't have a person to cook for us anymore
Mm-hmm.
because we're too poor. We realized.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to cook something every night for dinner and then take it for lunch the next day. Nandemo Theme is back. Well, get ready for some life lessons.
But no, Control Nike says that's work. But you want to do something that pays for things. Yeah, of course. Like, yeah, that's how our society is built. You need to work to live here, basically,
No, but
or you'll fucking die.
here's the interesting thing. Like, there's this place called Auroville in
Oh,
Pondicherry in
Auroville
Tamil
is
Nadu.
fucking amazing. Yeah, I've heard about.
And for those of
Wanna
you who
go
don't
there?
know, Auroville is this place where you're basically currency doesn't exist in the same way. Like, they do take money, but it's more of you do something for me, I do something for you. So if you wanted a meal, for example, you could help cook that meal. Maybe it's a cafe and maybe you help them cook, maybe you help them serve, maybe you help them clean up, maybe you wash the dishes. If you want to stay at someone's house, they give you housing and maybe you help them clean their house, or maybe you help them build something that they need in their house, or maybe you help them do a certain task that they're not able to do alone. And currency literally doesn't exist. You literally do not have
Yeah, it
to.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, your value is based on what you give to the community, not based on how much you
Yeah,
have personally.
which is like ideal. Like, and there are lots of societies like Auroville, like, places coming up like that all around the world, where there are like-minded people who don't want to live that life in like the society. They're like, yo, I just want to, live and have fun, basically,
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
that's the kind of world we could
and
all be living in if
yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
just capitalistic bullshit. I
Yeah,
want to
if it
give
was
what
what, like, it's
Also, he hates
like
IT with a
the
passion, apparently. Why do you hate IT with a passion? It's almost as if you're a wage slave.
it shouldn't be. It's like the Italians, like the dolce vita, sweet life. You just gotta enjoy life, right? Which is very difficult, but yes, that's how it should be.
You can go there, but will they accept people above a limit? Are people at each other places willing to let go of the greed of above average lifestyle? Yeah, you should actually go check it out. It's actually very fun, man.
Yeah.
You literally just live freely and do whatever you want. There are
Mm.
people who
Yeah.
take their pets there and everyone's just chilling with the
Mm.
pet. And there are people who hold like impromptu concerts and you can just go and you can help out people and you can grab a drink with them and you can
And
sit and eat with them.
yeah,
People are
and they have
smoking up everywhere.
schools. They have schools with no curriculum. You can study what you want. It's like fucking amazing.
Yeah, like my cousin brother, my cousin brother's brother, younger brother, who's also my cousin brother.
Also, your
Well, I don't even
cousin
know why I
brother.
said it like that, but he went to this place called Mayapur, which is an Iskon place, and
Yes.
he went to a Gurukul over there, and they have a strict no phone policy, which is I think fantastic for kids.
Mhm.
They get their phones only on Sundays for a limited amount of time. He
Mhm.
learned how to code. He codes websites. He's not even
Yeah, yeah.
18. He codes websites for 15K a month. Okay, he just randomly goes to people. He's like, "Hey, you want a website? Cool, 15K." And they're like, "Cool." And he's like, "I'm happy with this money." He built a laptop out of spare parts. He learned how to code Android apps. He has learned all kinds of martial arts. He's like ripped. Okay, the little kid is ripped. Okay, and he learned how to make cheese. They literally made them build a brick oven and then they made lasagna and pizza and shit like that in it. He has learned so many life skills, it's not even funny. And he is like living the good life right now. They
That's
teach
all
them
cool,
art.
but he's still part of a cult.
Yeah, he is a part of it, but he's
Yeah,
actually
at
he's
the end
actually
of the
very
day.
against the cult. So he's like
Okay.
reaping all the benefits while
I see.
rejecting the teachings of the cult. But that's the
I
thing.
see.
That's the thing. Their freaking religious beliefs don't come into any of this. It's all separate.
Yeah.
It's insane. How can what? Like they've learned so many life skills. Not even funny.
No, it's cool that they get to do that, and he gets to take advantage by not being involved in their principles or whatever. But yeah,
So apparently there are a
each
lot of
their own.
foreigners over there who, and
Yeah,
all
I've
of
heard
them
about
kids are real horny and they keep banging all the time, which is very
Wow.
against the ISKCON rules, I
Very
must say.
against. Yes, quite against. Oh, Kantanagi says it is fun but doesn't work for everyone. How many of them have a private jet? And like again, depends. Do you really want a private jet? Do you want to get super rich? Do you want to be a billionaire? Like, what's your goal?
Yeah, what the fuck
So,
are you going
I
to do
don't
with that
really
much
fucking
money?
want that. Yeah, I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be I just want like a basic amount of money to do what I want.
No,
Which is
you know
not
what?
much.
See, here's the thing. I want to be a billionaire, okay? And it's for the same reason in the last episode that I said I want to be famous because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
one particular thing. If I can get that money, I will do my best to at least create one place that, misfits like us can go to. Like, and be happy. Like, hey, just come here. Okay, we have $1 billion to fund this. Okay, we have $1 billion to fund this. Come here, eat whatever the fuck you want. You have to help make it. That's the only rule. Read whatever the fuck you want. Create videos with people. Sit and discuss ideas with people. Learn about things with people. And you don't have to give anything. You don't have to pay us anything. Just help keep the whatever the house or the cafe or the shelter or whatever. Just help
Whatever you
keep
want
it
to do.
nicely.
Yeah.
And it's going to be this nice little place. I have $1 billion. It can go on forever. That's
Yeah.
all. That's the only reason I want like insane riches, so that I can create a place where another brew somewhere who's like 15 and is like, man, life sucks so bad. Oh, look at this place. Maybe I should go here.
Yeah, but to get there, do you really need to suffer and live the hard life and be a slave to other people?
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, but then again,
it's still a possibility. I'm not saying it's impossible.
The only reason we even have the luxuries we have today is because other people suffered all their lives to give it to us.
Yeah,
So I guess at some point I'm ready to, if I have the opportunity, of course, not like I'm just going to become a billionaire because I wish for it. But if I have the opportunity, I suppose I will bite the bullet, suffer as much as I can to leave a better world for others.
Yeah, but do you have to?
I don't have to.
Like, it's something like, is that the only way you can achieve that? What do you want?
No, that's not the only way. I'm sure there are better ways, but this seems to be
the way
like
you're choosing. Yeah,
it seems to be the only way
easiest way.
that I can actually do it. Like there's a slight possibility. Bruce Magic Playhouse will be abused by a lot of people who want to make some quick bucks. Yeah, I mean, of course, they'll have to be fail safes for all these things and make sure that people can't abuse it in some way. Okay, and also, if by abuse you mean like, pay poor people are going to come and eat all the food, I don't think that's abuse. That's exactly what I want to help with.
That's good, yeah.
Just
Why would you want to
making
put them out?
that clear.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't get why that's abuse. That's literally why you're building a place like that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it is possible. It just depends, because I've seen a lot of places which do this for animal welfare, where they literally just bring in all the animals they can and they start feeding them, they
Yeah.
start taking care of them, and then
Yeah.
they try to get them adopted and so on. And in a place like India, it's really, really hard. So rich people are going to come there and eat all the food. Everyone's going to be there. Listen, if rich people come to a place which offers free food, their social status is going to fall and they're going to get the fuck out immediately.
Yeah. And also, sure, they can, like, you're not keeping anyone out. Everyone's welcome.
Yeah, if you're rich and you still want to come and have the food and be a part of the community, sure.
Yeah,
but you still
sure.
need to mop the floors, clean the dishes, help cook the
Exactly.
food,
Yeah.
actually contribute something. You can't just walk in, eat, and then walk out without talking to anybody.
Yeah.
Control NK, you underestimate the amount of power I have in my own playhouse. I will set Audi upon them.
Oh shit, that's scary. Yeah. For those who don't know,
And
Audi
eat the rich
is
will
like,
become a literal eat the rich problem
Yeah.
over there for them.
You can't set. Yeah. Audi will protect you from all these
Yeah.
situations for sure. But yes.
Now you are just power trip. Really? I have an Audi.
Let's move past your rich playhouse, apparently.
A rich playhouse.
But yeah, because like again, before you got your first job, right?
Yeah.
We used to talk a lot about how, like, even throughout we've been talking about how suppose you, like, if we had our own workplace, right? Like,
Yeah.
for example, based on how, like, the various things we learn not to do from our society, right? Like, and like, how would the ideal workplace be, for example? Let's go there now.
Okay, so firstly, you can work from wherever the fuck you want. Secondly, everyone would get to partake in the profits, irrespective of how much.
Yes, exactly.
Irrespective of their
it would
status.
be like no hierarchy, basically.
Yeah, no
right?
hierarchy.
And that does exist. It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's not impossible
many
at all.
people may be like, yo, that's impossible. No, a lot of companies do
Valve
have.
is the best example.
Not even small studios.
Yeah, I know.
that I've
No, but
worked
it's saying,
with
like,
have that, yeah.
if you're talking about, like, as you scale, it's going to become harder. Valve,
Yeah, Valve.
billions and billions of dollars every year.
No hierarchy. Yeah.
Why don't you ask your father for some money and start a multimedia company? Because my dad took the money and started his own company, and he does nothing left for me. God damn it, it's so unfair. I asked him for a small loan of a few $1 million, and he was like, earn it yourself. Like, God damn it.
The hard life.
Yeah. He didn't even get me a Cadillac for my birthday.
I know, right? Even though you can't drive.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a rich person. I hire poor people to drive.
Yeah, that
apparently.
is true. That is true. But
Scam some investor. Control. I don't know if you figured it out by now, but I don't really like scamming people.
I know a lot of people think it's an Indian thing to do, but not everyone wants to do that.
Yeah, please don't call me Indian. I'm not that Indian. Anyway, yeah, so that's no hierarchy would be the best thing. And the other thing would be, like, I would legitimately, if anyone ever, like, even if we hired them, and I would have a no fire policy. That's one of my biggest things. Like, everyone has the ability to do better, and everyone will do better given the opportunity. And firing them is not it's an easy answer to a difficult problem. So that always work with people and try to enable them.
I think you shouldn't have to fire if you if you do a good job at the interview stage, and when you're hiring them, which is important.
Yeah.
If you hire someone, like, if you do a good job at hiring, I don't think you'll have to fire them.
Yeah, and also if you have to fire them, that means there's also a problem with management somewhere, because like, has it really gotten to the point where you literally have to just let them go because of them? Or, I mean, if they're like completely unreasonable and refusing to work on themselves, of course I understand in that situation.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, a little bit of help can go a long way. And also, like, we fucking work lesser. Just work lesser. Just do the job that needs to be done.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
it.
play should be equally as important as work, if not more.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like you should give both importance in life, because I'm saying for people who choose to work and have that distinction, both should be equally important for you. You should be giving if you be like, oh shit, I need to go out and chill or like have a drink, that should be as urgent as you going for a meeting.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
And like okay, so here's the thing. Okay, let's say again, using this podcast as an example, that we get big, we hire people to work on the podcast, like we get some social media manager, or we get someone to edit our videos, or we get someone to take care of live production, so we don't have all these fucking issues all the time. Then I would want them to only work for the time that we're actually working. Like everyone comes to, okay, they don't even need to come, but everyone is active while the podcast is live, and everything gets done right over there. Like, the social media guy is just listening in, and he's like, okay, highlight here, highlight here, highlight here, reel here, reel here, reel here. The live guy is just sitting back and he's like, okay, this works, this works, this works. Set guy is just like, okay, I've set up everything. I'm just going to make sure that everything is cool. If they need anything else, and we both are going to be like, okay, here's what we need to do. We have our points prepared. We're going to talk it all out, and then we're going to make sure that everything else is done. After that, we sit with them 5 minutes afterwards. Done. Go. Just live your life now. Work is done for the day.
Just and what I don't understand is like, you expect this is your business, it's something you want to do, it's something you want, like there are lots of things you'll have to do for your business, where you'll have to like work overtime and work overtime and work extra hours, but you shouldn't put your employees through that, because again, that's not what they want to do. So you got to do the extra, like you take that, you stay up and fix things and go network and all that. Don't make someone else do it overtime. That's what I would say.
And I would definitely, like, if there is an urgent need, I would ask it of people if I couldn't do it myself, but I would make it very, very clear that, listen, if you say no and ask me to fuck off right now, even if they're getting paid, if you ask me to fuck off right now, I completely understand. I'm just asking because I'm not able to do it and I need this done. So please let me know if you can do it, you will be paid. That's what stream clippers do. I'm not okay. Listen, if we have a Discord mod, or if we have a Reddit mod or something, I'm going to make sure that motherfucker is paid. Okay, I don't want one of these stupid ass mods to be power trippers and just ban people for fun, or insult people for fun.
Our mod gets Dota Plus.
Yeah, our mod gets
from us.
Our mod gets a lot of support from us. Okay, our mod has gotten so much tech support from me. He owes me money. Do you know our mod is getting 8 GB RAM free from me?
Yes.
Make me mod. I feel like it's a very bad idea.
We cannot do that. Yeah,
that's a very fucking bad idea. I want to be toxic. Exactly. Well, you can do a great job at that in chat itself. But yeah, I mean that. And the final thing is, like, even if we do have a more traditional workspace, which we definitely won't, which is why we'll go out of business immediately. But even if we do have a more traditional workspace, the one thing that I would do is make sure that everyone had a break for at least half an hour to an hour to do something that they wanted. Anything. Like, it doesn't have to be, you can chill, you can sleep, you can sleep anytime you want in my workspace. Like, I'm going to be asleep half the time.
Anytime you want, you can take. Yeah. But as long as like what needs to be done is done. That's all.
Even if there is like a set timing to come to work and leave work, a certain amount of time has to be kept aside for them to do whatever the fuck they want. And this isn't going to be one of those, okay, you create something and then I claim it's made on company time and I own the IP. No, just do whatever the fuck you want. Just use company resources, sit with other people, collaborate, do some really fun shit, and just take it. It's yours.
Yeah, for sure. It should be quite free, and you should be working with them. It's important to like understand that you're not ordering someone to do something or being authoritative, because I fucking hate authority. That I can't work for people who are like, yo, do this now. I'm like, fuck off, I'm not gonna do this shit.
So do I. Like,
so I like working with people.
Like my boss was like, okay, so instead of targeting the VP of design, I wanted to target the guy who handled all the product, like the head of product, who handled the business side and the tech side and the design side, to pitch to. Because I was like, if you go to somebody and be like, if you go to the VP of design and be like, hey, we're pitching for your job, do you mind? They're going to be like, yeah, fuck off. But if you go to the head of product, it makes more sense. At least that's how I thought of it. And my boss was like, tere paas dimag hai kya? I'm like, okay, interesting question. I'm not going to answer that. And he's like, yeah, but why would you pitch to the head of product? Like, what does he do? I was like, handle the product. What the fuck does the VP, like, do you want, what if somebody came to you and said, hey, I want your job and I'm pitching to you for it? Would you really be in the mood to entertain them? He's like, yeah, why not? We're just trying to enable their team. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Nobody's going to give a shit. They're going to look at your fucking
Yeah.
proposal and be like, nah, I'll do
Yeah.
this
Nah.
myself.
Yeah, that sucks, dude, that they talk like that. It's fucking terrible.
But sometimes you have to have coworkers who need to be told a few times to complete something. You can tell them a few times. You don't need to shout at them.
Yeah,
Shouting
you
at
can
someone
tell
is
them.
just unnecessary.
Like, we've worked with Audi before. Like, that's not new to us. Hey, come on. It's true. Sometimes you gotta tell them a few times, a few 50,
That's-
100 times. Like, do it and then
Yeah.
it's done. And that's okay. But you don't need to be rude to them or like, and if they don't do it, then you gotta do it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, which is, yeah. But then again, you like, if it's someone that's working for you, you don't have to. But if it's y'all are doing this together, like, it's a joint venture kind of thing, then they have to put in as much effort. That's expected. That's the minimum expectation.
Yeah. Gossiping about Audi. No, Audi can hear everything. He's literally
He's
sitting in
right
front
here.
of me.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's because he can hear. I want him to hear this.
Yeah, but that's the fun part. Like, I haven't shouted at anyone in a long
Oh.
time. Seriously,
Yeah, I don't shout at anyone.
it has
Yeah,
been
like,
years
never.
and years and years. Like the max I do is get excited and shout at something or at someone because I'm like, let's do it. But that's it. Like my
Yeah.
max anger has been like, hey, you know what? This is not cool, and that's it.
Yeah, I've never, and then I've been lucky enough to work with people also who do not yell like
Yeah.
throughout my.
That's true.
Because if I did, I'd just be like, no, I'm not doing this. Get lost.
Exactly.
But it's unfortunate that people do treat their employees that way. Definitely shouldn't have
Yeah, people in my office are
like,
treated
be
like
fucking
shit.
nice. Yeah, there are many ways to figure things out instead of just yelling at people.
Yeah. And irrespective of like, and the thing is, like, a lot of people, what most employers especially don't realize is these people might be good at something for their professional work or like their wage slaves. They might not be good at something they're doing, but that might just be something they're not interested in, but they're doing it for the money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't expect everyone to be like passionate and live for the job and make sure that they put out the best work
so
and all that shit.
unrealistic. No, they're like, oh, I feel this way about my company, which makes sense. It's your fucking company. You can't expect your employees to feel that way too. They're not sharing your dream. It's weird, right? It's like going to One Piece, right? Like everyone has their own dreams in the crew.
Yeah.
Right. Like even the person who's working for you has somewhere he wants to be, something he wants to do, he or she. So it doesn't have to be like that way.
It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be as driven as the founders.
Yeah, exactly. And the founders shouldn't expect that.
We just got to stop working collectively for a few years. Yeah, I know, right? That would literally be the best way to go forward. See, the thing is, again, I'm not against work. A lot of people find solace in work. I am against wage slavery. I'm against not being paid equal, if a good amount for what you're doing. Even if you're just making coffee, like that's the person who's actually making you sales in the company. They should be getting more. Teachers should be getting a lot fucking more.
Yes, we get paid they get paid very less. I said we get paid. I do barely get paid for it, but yes, we get paid very less. Teachers, they get the least amount of money in most places because education is not important at all, apparently.
Of course. It's just like,
it's useless. Yeah, why do we need that shit, dude?
Oh wait, I'm just gonna check something, by the way. I think the problem with our stream is because of my video.
I'm just gonna your video did die.
Yeah, I switched it off for now, but yeah, go on.
Okay, but yeah, no, it's true. Like a lot of jobs which are more important, like literally teaching kids about life.
Yeah,
is like, we ain't gonna pay you that much. It's not that important. Who cares? Just a teacher.
Yeah, and recently I was reading a report that something like 80% or 85% of teachers in the United States said that they had to pay out of their pocket to get school supplies. Are you shitting me? You're the
crazy.
school. It's school supplies. You have one job.
Yeah, and it's also insane why like a lot of parents literally expect teachers to raise their kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is like, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Even like they're getting like minimum wage teaching, basic concepts, and now they have to raise your kid for you and
Yeah.
like for 20 other families.
Oh, yeah. Control and cases, no school
Yeah,
chairmen get paid a
exactly.
lot more than teachers.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Like
School chair,
both our mothers are teachers, so
hmm,
we know
know that
that
very well.
fucking entire
Hmm.
world of it. It's
We know
annoying.
the education world very fucking well.
Mm.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, and it's crazy exploitative. Like the corporate side of schools and all, like the founders, they're rich as fuck. And down the ladder, the actual teachers who interact with kids every fucking day get nothing.
Yeah, and also
And it's
going.
and it's work. It's like proper hard work. It's not that
Yeah,
oh
it's
I
really
just go
hard
and say
work.
shit. Like teaching is different from just telling people like do this. Like it's very very different. You gotta prepare. You gotta work equally as hard, if not more. It's insane.
Yeah,
Teachers work as much as students, if not more, I would say. Hmm.
definitely more than students. 100%. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
amount of preparation. Like I never thought
It's
about it as a
fucking
kid.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never thought about it before. I was like, holy shit! Like it's a lot of work.
teachers get paid how the school board by the
Government
new
teachers
heading.
don't get shit.
Yeah, they don't get
Like
shit.
they don't get shit compared to what you're supposed to get. Hmm.
Also,
And
going
and
back to
also,
the article that you had
can
shared
I,
before the podcast. Yeah, you can finish your point.
we can talk about the article later. But yeah, also government teachers like. A lot of people, our government also hires a lot of terrible people and makes them teachers like they
Yeah,
don't know shit. Like so, that's also a thing.
yeah, we had a really
But yeah,
abusive teacher in my school, and
mm-hmm.
it was private for fuck's sake.
Oh my god. But yes, what were you saying
Yeah,
about the article?
the article which the part about stay at home mothers, it really reminded me of something which is when the first 888 was introduced for work, which was that 8 hours should be for recreation, 8 hours should be for work, and 8 hours should be for rest. And that was also done in a time where 8 hours meant that you were actually working for 8 hours along with 1 hour lunch break, and you weren't like traveling for 2 hours and then you work for 8 hours and then you travel for 2 hours again. And it's so weird because that 8 hours for recreation just doesn't exist in our world. Like that was the whole
exactly.
point. The whole point is to immerse yourself in something creative, immerse yourself in
Yeah,
something you like, live for your passions a little bit, and
exactly.
that
Do
just
what's
went.
fun. Yeah, and a lot like I talk to a lot of people and they don't see that as something important. Because for me, like when I'm freelancing, like after 6, I'm not taking any work calls, nothing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to talk to any clients. I'm just going to do my own shit.
Hmm.
And that's on days when I decide like yeah I'm gonna work on this project, which is a difficult rule because yeah I'm like poor as shit and I lose out on clients and money and everything, but it's something I'm like yeah I'd rather suffer like this way than like work overtime for me and not do something that I want to do. And for a lot of people, yeah, they can't have that, and I understand it's difficult, but it is important for people to try to have that 8 hours like you were saying, right, to
Yeah,
themselves.
definitely.
Mm.
And control 9 cases, you get bad teams everywhere. It's a
Mm.
comparative metric, and both sides of normal distribution exists. So unless you want to starve half the population, you have to hire not as good people. But here's the thing. Here's a really interesting thing. If you actually put in the effort to make sure that people were trained to do any job, to actually, or people who actually wanted to do the job and were supported in doing the
Yeah,
job, then you wouldn't have that problem at all. The problem is not that people don't want to teach. A lot of people want to teach. The problem is that
a
nobody
lot of
wants to be
people want
paid.
to
Nobody
teach.
wants to pay them
Yeah,
to
no
teach.
one wants to. Yeah, exactly. That, and also like let's not talk about hiring. Like that's a whole other ball game. Like people are hired based on their religion also, which is like fucking
That
insane.
is true.
Yeah, so that's like a whole another problem in our country how people are hired.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's not just our country. I'm sure it's everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
Then your
But
standard of
again,
good will get higher and higher. Yes, that it definitely will. I agree with that. But that's my
mm,
point. The whole point of humanity is to keep improving more and more. And
mm.
we are not improving, I feel. We are just figuring out how to make more money for other people. We are not
It's just
actually improving.
yeah, it's a system that's been set up that everyone is like yeah let's just do this, like it's the way we have to live, like we've talked about this before, but like I talk about like the tutorials to live life, right?
Yeah,
Like there are these tutorials set up, like your parents tell you like this is the way I've lived life, so this is how you should do it. Society tells you, your religion will tell you a particular way to live life, and these are like tutorials that people like okay I'll follow this and live life this way. So it's just another way that's been set up, like that you can go down and like take your life that way, but it's not the only way. That's
of
what, like
course.
there are other ways.
Definitely.
It may be it may be worse than like getting a comfortable job where you get paid every week. It may be better than the work culture there, but what do you decide at the end of the day
And
for yourself?
I'm also going to bring up something that Sid enjoys talking about a lot, but I'll just address control line case comment. Yes, I'm just talking
Hmm.
about government schools hiring bad people. That's only in okay. Government schools sometimes have really good teachers who get burnt out and are kicked out because they legit
Oh yeah,
cannot
for sure.
take take the stress. They legit cannot handle the issues that come up in life every single time. So I really feel bad for them because they genuinely care about the
Yeah,
subject. They genuinely care about teaching people the subject while they are still working in other places.
exactly. And also, teachers don't get fucking holidays. They go to school when kids are like,
Yeah,
hey, holiday today. Teachers like, fuck, I gotta go
yeah.
work. Hmm.
And that's all the
But
more
yes,
depressing. And also,
exactly.
hire. I don't think anyone is a bad person for any job. It just
No.
depends on how much they are incentivized to actually do the job in either
Mhm.
through finance because you're like you don't care about the job but you want to get money for it, which is one way, or they're actually passionate about it. But even then, they need to be paid properly for it because irrespective
You
of
will
how
be
much
paid
passion you
properly.
have,
Yeah.
passion doesn't fill your
Mm.
stomach. Which is my only point. Like,
Unless your job is literally exploiting people, then that's a bad thing.
yeah, yeah, don't
But yeah,
be Elon Musk with the mines, but
yeah. Hmm.
yeah, but they get paid to go to school for that month even when students are not there. Yes, but again, like they're paid peanuts for what they're
Barely.
actually doing,
Yeah,
and
they're
they have
paid
to
shit.
spend their
Hmm.
own money to actually help the students out a little bit more. There are
Hmm.
many countries in the world which have public education which
Dude,
are amazing. Germany has free
yeah.
education for college. A lot of colleges in Germany are
A
just
lot of
free.
European countries
Yeah,
do actually.
and
Hmm.
it is insane how good they actually are. And that's because they're actually supported. They're given the freedom. They're given the ability to live
Hmm.
their life and do what they want while being paid properly
Yeah.
for it.
And in some countries, teachers are the highest paid, like Ireland and stuff. You hear they're like paid the most, which is like how it should be,
Yeah,
because it's important. It's your
exactly.
early days.
Yeah,
But
but
yes.
see, one topic that you and I have talked about a lot. They can spend their money or think of themselves and not spend it and get called bad. Exactly, that's the problem. Yeah,
Hmm.
why would you be called bad because you cannot afford to help the students that the
Dude,
school should be affording
it's
in the
insane,
first
dude.
place?
I had this Hindi teacher in school, and like I'm terrible at Hindi. I don't really speak it very well, but she got me interested in the language. She was so good. Like out of every, I used to look forward to her class because you'd be like this fun interactive thing, right?
Yeah.
She used to get paid fucking peanuts, dude, like 6K a month or something, dude. And she was like, that's fucking insane for a teacher of that quality.
Yeah, I mean, our history teacher in
I
college was
can't believe,
amazing.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, but okay, so Sid, okay, we can
Hmm.
put this as our last point because my back is starting to hurt again. But
Okay.
so I don't see in this dystopian world that we already live in, and for anyone who says it's not a dystopian world, take a look around. But
Hmm.
I don't believe that we can get so art movements is basically the what I want to talk about. But art
Okay.
movements, I also realized recently were always coincided with a great shift in philosophical thought of the era. So
Hmm.
the artists were inspired by the philosophers were inspired by the art, and the scientists
And
came
so it
along
was
and they
born out
all
of like shitty situations like
yeah
wars and whatnot. But
yeah.
yeah.
But what I'm saying, like all these creative people inspired each other to cause that movement to come across at the end
Oh yeah,
because
yeah. Like it's their movements, but artists put the art thing to
yeah.
them. Yeah, exactly.
So like when people started developing more intricate thoughts, the common masses were like, holy shit, you know what, maybe that Latin book that the priests tell us to follow is not what they tell us.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
artists were like, hey, if that's true, maybe I can create something really cool over here. And then scientists were like,
yeah,
if that is true, maybe
yeah.
I can do, and
Exactly.
then it just became a movement. I don't
Like
see that
Renaissance.
happening now.
Hmm.
I don't see that happening in this dystopian world.
No, no, it's definitely the thing is, yeah, we've talked about this before. You're
Yeah.
right. Like if something like art movements or like a movement that changes society for the better is possible in the modern world, and with so many things in place, so many distractions, so many different
So
ways of
many
working and
control
ways of thought.
mechanisms.
Yeah, it's like fucking, it's impossible. It seems it's sad to say. I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
it's impossible.
It seems freaking impossible because like it just seems borderline. Okay, I wouldn't say
Hmm.
impossible to actually do something where everyone unites together, but it seems borderline impossible to get people to unite for a common cause and actually revolt
Yeah,
against
it
like people
seems,
who are oppressing people.
and not even revolt in the political sense. I'm saying
Yeah,
revolt for quality of life,
yeah,
which is what people don't do.
exactly.
Revolt for like trying to change how society works.
Yeah. And we're also so divided amongst our own ideologies
Oh,
now
it's
that it's just
crazy,
insane.
dude. Like, and like, of course, like we depend on technology for a lot of things, and we use our phones and stuff. But that's a huge distraction that also
That's
prevents
true.
us any of this happening.
More than that, like if technology is controlled, then like for example, in India when the whole Kashmir thing
it's
happened,
it's not
we
yeah, it's not technology, it's how it's being used.
yeah, they
Hmm.
were blacked out for a lot of time.
Oh
And if they
yeah,
were fucking
definitely.
blacked out, if you could just wipe out internet access, you're killing
Mhm.
the ability
Hmm.
for so many people to communicate. A lot of people didn't know what the fuck was going on in the
Yeah.
entire state until like much later. And that's why the whole thing with Web3 and all the decentralized web and all that shit really sounds like a great idea, but it seems like a very
No,
it seems like a
also,
fantasy more than anything else.
and it does. And even if you talk about the kind of like content people consume, like how algorithms work, they show you more of what you like now.
Yeah,
For example, if you're a right wing guy and you love like right wing propaganda and blah blah, that's the only thing you'll get. Everything you get, your algorithm will show you is related to that, and you'll go deeper and deeper into that fucking rabbit hole, right?
wouldn't it be
Which
amazing if somebody opened
we
this episode
fucking
and on the
suck.
side was Joe Rogan hosts Alex Jones? I'd fucking shoot myself.
Yeah, so that fucking sucks. Like that's unfortunate, and like for them mentally they'll be going down that hole. And like of course it works the same way for us. Like we get whatever we like and according to our train of thought, and like our algorithm caters to us, right? And
I
it's
feel
the
like my
same thing, but
algorithm is confused, to be honest. It's like, what the fuck does this guy actually
yeah,
want? Because
but a lot of
like
that,
we
it's unfortunate that people fall in these circles because of the algorithm, and they only get news that's like biased and one-sided or whatnot, and they don't realize that the other option exists, or they think it's like fake news or whatever.
yeah. And the thing is, I think at least we would is Joshua Fluke on your
I don't
why
know
do you
who the
yeah,
fuck
who
that
the
is.
fuck is Joshua Fluke?
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hmm.
But the thing is, like, that completely made me lose my train of thought.
Why did you look them up?
No, I didn't look them up. I'm just like I was thinking of something to say, and then I saw Joshua Fluke. I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah,
Algorithms. Were you
algorithms.
talking?
Yeah, but I think we
Hmm.
we are at least trying to break out of that because we are self-aware of it at some point. So we're like, okay,
Oh
we
yeah, yeah,
shouldn't
of course.
be getting deeper into this rabbit hole. We should learn
No,
new things. We
but
should
we
do
see
new things.
we see a lot of people here who are part of that. Not even like this, like your like older relatives, parents.
Yeah.
A lot of like
Oh, they're done for,
they
dude.
watch
They're freaking
specific
done for.
channels that sell like this specific line of like
Yeah.
like a political side of the story, and like they're in specific WhatsApp groups that share like these like
They're
everything
fucked.
caters to their train of thought, and they're like, yes, this is how the world is,
They're
and it's
completely fucked
fucking
for sure.
insane.
I can't even talk. I can't even begin to talk about my freaking parents and their Facebook binges. It's just
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's crazy that something like that happens, and that prevents, because like again, like how movements start was people coming together, sharing ideas and learning what's going on in the world, and then trying to do something in their own way,
yeah.
whatever you can do to change that.
Agreed. And a
But
lot of
now
people just don't
the
have that
people,
unity anymore.
yeah, people coming together and like discussing something and like understanding different points and understanding each other, and then trying to do something is like, even that situation for it to start off seems impossible. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Hmm.
very. I mean, it's just very hard. I don't even know.
Hmm.
I don't even
Hmm.
think. I can't even think of something like right now. I'm thinking, and I can't think of something that will actually make people come
Also
together.
goes back to work also. We're like, yeah, I just got back from work at like 10
Yeah,
o'clock at
that's
night, you
another
want
thing.
me to come and
We are
talk to you?
so
Like, what the fuck
we
is
are
wrong with you?
so tired at the end of every day that we just can't do it.
uh,
Also,
yeah,
I would just
and
quickly
I
like to
understand.
know who is which one of our viewers. I am assuming it is one of you guys is searching for IELTS study plan. Who's doing IELTS? I know about your lives,
Our
guys.
viewers, huh? Our viewers,
Yeah.
huh?
Be like me, become a doomer, say it is what it is, and wish for hopelessness, end of mankind, and move on. I am. Control NK is doing IELTS. Oh, I hope you get the fuck out of
Nice.
the country, dude. Anyway.
Yeah, please leave.
Mhm. Yeah, but Sid
But
always
yeah.
says it is what it is, but he doesn't.
Hmm.
He doesn't actually just believe in dooming himself to a
No,
sad
I don't.
existence. He's always going
Hmm.
to work towards a
I
better
more
one.
say it as a joke,
Yeah.
just to like make fun of the, yeah.
Yeah, but you know
Anyways.
what, guys? How about this? We will end this with a question. What do you guys think would change the world for the better?
Hmm.
What is one thing that you think would make the world a better place and why? Just let us know that in the comments or on our Discord, or if you're watching on Reddit. I don't even know if anyone's watching on Reddit, but if you're watching on Reddit, you can personal message me if you want, or come to the Nandemo Discord and just let us know. We just want to know more perspectives and understand the world a little better. So let us know what you think. What do you think of that, Sid? Nice question to end it off with.
Yeah, pretty good. We can end it off here.
Okay.
And yeah, it'd be nice. We'll come at you next week with another interesting topic.
Yeah.
If you have any suggestions, we're always open. Comment, let us know on Discord, anything.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you guys
topic at all.
participate also. Makes it more interesting to see other perspectives and stuff. So yeah, definitely.
It's fun to talk to people. And
yeah, exactly.
For Christ's sake, I swear to God, those of you who aren't liking the video on YouTube, we have an algorithm we need to care about, okay?
Yes, it helps. It helps. Even though it barely, like, it helps us, even though it's like 1 or 2. It's nice that people enjoy.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Exactly.
But anyway, cool. That's it, guys. See you later. See you next week, and you can talk to us.
Outro song anymore, right? You just like end it.
I do. No, I do play it. It just plays for like 10 seconds. That's it.
I see.
Okay, I'll play it for longer this time. Here, you guys enjoy the outro song.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.